Oh, hello. How lovely to see you. Well, Bar's very excited today because we've got a special treat for you. Our friend Isaac has produced the most amazing video all about the story of David and Goliath. Isn't that right, Bar? Yeah, Bar's seen it already and he thinks it's wonderful, and he thought it was so good he wanted you to share in it too. So, sit back and enjoy the story of David and Goliath as told to us by our very own friend Isaac.
David was a young shepherd from Bethlehem. David had 7 older brothers. The 3 eldest were in Saul's army, but David went back and forth from Saul's army to his father's sheep in Bethlehem. Saul's army were fighting against the Philistine army. The Philistines had a giant taller than my ceiling. He was called Goliath and wore a bronze helmet on his head and wore a coat of scaled armour of bronze weighing as much as a 14-year-old boy. Goliath stood and shouted, "Choose one of your men to fight me."
Who will fight me?
If he wins and defeats me, then we will become your slaves. But if I win and defeat him, you will become our slaves. All of Saul's army were terrified. For 40 days, Goliath challenged the Israelites every morning and evening.
Who will fight me?
One day, Jesse said to his son David, "Take this food to your brothers in the army and see how they are getting along." David got up early the next morning, left another shepherd in charge of the sheep, and took the food as Jesse had told him. When David arrived at the camp, he gave the food to the person in charge of supplies and went back to find his brothers. As he was talking, Goliath came forwards and challenged the Israelites, and David heard him. He went to the Israelites, saw Goliath. They all ran back to the camp in terror. The men near David told him, "King Saul promised to give a big reward to the man who kills Goliath." David said to Saul, "No one should be afraid of Goliath. I will go and fight him." "No," said Saul. "How could you fight him? You're just a boy. He's been a soldier all his life." David said, "I take care of my father's sheep. Any time a lion or bear carries off a lamb, I go after it, attack it, and rescue the lamb. The Lord has saved me from lions and bears. He will save me from Goliath." "All right," Saul answered. "Go, and the Lord be with you." He gave his own armour to David for him to wear, a bronze helmet which he put on his head, and a coat of armour. David strapped Saul's sword over the armour and tried to walk, but he couldn't because he wasn't used to wearing them. "I can't fight with this," he said.
I can't fight with this.
Saul, "I'm not used to it."
So
He took it all off. He took his shepherd's stick and then picked up 5 smooth stones from a stream and put them in his bag, ready with his sling. He went out to meet Goliath. When Goliath saw David coming to the camp, he laughed. "You're just a boy," he said.
You're just a boy.
David answered, "You're coming against me with a sword, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of the Israelite armies. God will help me defeat you, and then the whole world will know that Israel has a God. And everyone here will see that the Lord does not need swords or spears to save his people. He will put all of you in our power." Goliath started walking towards David. David ran quickly to fight him. He reached into his bag and took out a stone, which he slung at Goliath. It hit him on the forehead and broke his skull. Goliath fell face downwards on the ground. And so, without a sword, David defeated Goliath with a sling and a stone.
Wow, what a fantastic version of the story that was. I hope you enjoyed it. We thought it was absolutely brilliant, didn't we, Bar? Yeah, he thought it was fantastic. Well done, Isaac, for such a wonderful, wonderful telling of the story. Today in our church services, we've been thinking about how God sent the gift of his Holy Spirit to his special friends at Pentecost, special time of year. The Holy Spirit is like God's power working within us, helping us to do things that we might otherwise find really hard to do. That story of David and the way he beat Goliath is a story that shows what we can do when God is on our side, when God gives us the power. Maybe you've got something a bit difficult to do this week. Maybe there's something you're worried about. Well, what I'd like you to remember is that if God can help David win over that with Goliath, then he can help you in whatever it is you've got to face. So God be with you, God bless you, and have a fantastic week. Bye for now.